Well, it's Uncommon Fossil. We're taking a look at a block Snorlax deck. It's obviously been a strong deck for a while, and Pokemon keeps printing some new cards for it. So Twilight Masquerade is no exception. It makes the deck a little bit better. So let's take a look at where the deck is now and some of the tech options that the deck can have. There obviously are different options the deck can have, but it's built around the Snorlax from Pokemon TCG, from the Pokemon Go set, sorry. It's got the block ability. As long as Pokemon's the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat. So we're trying to get our opponents so they can't attack, get something stuck there, and deck them out. It's the basic strategy. 4 copies of Snorlax in this deck, and to make sure we don't deck out ourselves, we just drop in 1 copy of Pidgeot V, a very simple way to do it, with Vanishing Wings. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's on your bench, you may shuffle it and all attached cards into your deck. So a very simple but effective way to make our deck infinite. And then to help set up, we play 2 copies of Rotom V. So it's very important. So that's why a second copy, if the 1 copy is prized, we want to be able to get it going from turn 1, because this is the engine, right? For the instant charge ability, once during your turn you draw 3 cards. If you use this ability, your turn ends. We want to get Snorlax in the active, get something stuck there that can't attack, and just Rotom away. We also have another walling Pokemon in Mimikyu. Safeguard ability, prevent damage from Pokemon EXs and Vs. Look, it's very counterable. We don't have Psychic Energy, we can't attack with it, but it can buy us a turn or 2 to help set up, and that can be useful as well. All right, other Pokemon we have in the deck. We have 1 copy of Manatee for 1 basic energy. We play 2 fire energies in the deck. We put a basic Pokemon from either player's discard pile onto that player's bench. Generally, we want to use it to get something onto our opponent's bench that they've gotten out of play that we want to get stuck in the active. Right? Most decks play something that your opponent doesn't want in the active, so with the Born Ashore ability on the Manatee, we can get it there. The old tool that rotated from the Battle Styles, it was a Battle Styles card. It was a repertoire card. I don't remember. I think it came out in the set after Battle Styles, perhaps. And I'm blanking on it now, but you know the one. It put a Pokemon from the discard pile basic onto their bench. Sandshrew, another basic Pokemon with an ability. We can't attack for 2 because we do have 2 energies to do 30 damage, but we don't really want to do that. Most decks don't want to do that. It's just not enough bit damage to be useful. But Sand Screen ability, trainer cards in your opponent's discard pile can't be put into their deck by an effect of your opponent's items or supporter cards, so they can't get any trainer cards from the discard pile back in their deck, just making things more difficult for our opponent just because we do want to deck them out. And then 1 copy of Chi-Yu EX. This is the 1 Pokemon we want to attack. It could potentially do damage as well with Flame Surge, but it's here for the Jealousy Singe attack. 1 fire energy. You discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So at some point you get them stuck with Snorlax, kind of mill, kind of just do some disruption, and then eventually as they get near the end, just speed things up with Chi-Yu, stop them from Ionoing back and continuing the game longer. Or, hopefully we've gotten rid of some of their switching cards and stuff along the way and can just finish things off with Chi-Yu. Don't have to worry about them retreating and attacking. So 2 fire energies, mainly for Chi-Yu, and of course we do have the Manatee as well to attack with, and that's really all that we would want to attack with. We could attack with Sandshrew, but we're not going to. Right? Getting into the trainers here. Tools, I'll hit those. Well, 1 copy of Heavy Ball. Doing Heavy Ball, we want to get a basic Pokemon from the discard from our prizes into our hand. We might need to get something in play. It's useful there. And then 4 copies of Nest Ball, because they're all basic Pokemon, so Nest Ball is good there. So tools, we play 2 copies of Bravery Charm. We just make our Pokemon tanky, our basic Pokemon, which again we all are, plus 50 HP. Then 2 copies of Defiance Vest, which is often better once our opponent's taken prizes. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, the Pokemon this card's attached to takes 40 less damage. So as long as you're not getting one shot by that 10 less of damage reduction instead of the plus 50 HP the other card gave, this goes turn after turn and can be very important there. So then we do play, and then 2 other tools. 1 copy for Seal Stone. We play the V Pokemon, so let us, use Star Alchemy once over the course of the game, search for any 1 card. And then Hero's Cape is the A-spec of choice for this. It gives us plus 100 HP, so that is quite nice there. Supporters here, I'll hit that next. We play 4 copies of Penny, because that's really good. You put a basic Pokemon, all attached cards into your hand, so so like Hero's Cape or something comes back in our hand as well. Very nice there for sure, because we want to slow down our opponent from taking prizes, right? Once our opponent takes 6 prizes, we lose the game, so we got to slow that down some. Penny helps a lot with that. 2 copies of Arven Search for a deck, and a tool. Like I said, we have a number of tools. We have a number of tools, and of course, items are very good as well. So 4 Arven makes a lot of sense. 1 Iono just helps us keep going with our deck. Partly can get our opponent down to a small hand, so I've taken a lot of prizes. That's an option, and also can extend the game out, keep us from decking out sometimes if we haven't set up well. We play 1 copy of Cyllene. This is key to the deck going infinite. You have 1 copy of Cyllene, 2 Team Yell's Cheer, right? 2 copies of that, or 1 copy of that, sorry, and then 2 Pal Pad. This is what makes the deck infinite. I mean, you could get really unlucky with your coin flip, so Pal Pad puts 2 supporters for the disc pile into your deck. Team Yell's Cheer, shuffle any combination of 3 Pokemon and or supporters for the discard pile into the deck, and then Cyllene, you flip 2 coins, you put a number of cards, number of heads, equal number of heads you flip, you put those on top of your deck from the discard pile. So a way to get back Pal Pad, for instance, or Hero's Cape. So very useful card there. Other supporters, 2 copies of Misfortune Sisters, just disruptive. Look at top 5 cards opponent's deck, discarding items there. Part of it, we want to get rid of switching cards is a big part of it for sure. 1 copy of Erika's Invitation. Your opponent reveals their hand. You put a basic Pokemon you find there onto their bench, and then it switches into the active spot. Hopefully, it's a Pokemon our opponent doesn't want the active. We don't. I think we have to, as long as there is a basic there, a basic has to be played onto the bench, including one we might not want to play. But obviously, trying to get something stuck that we don't want, that we can get stuck there with Snorlax. And then we've got 2 copies of Boss. We know what that does, and then 2 copies of Eri. Your opponent reveals their hand, discard up to 2 item cards there, get rid of items like Switch, very good. And then hand knowledge is very good, right? Because ideally, when we play Erika's Invitation, we want to know that there's something there to put on the bench. So if you can play the Eri first, very good for sure. What else do we have here? 4 copies of Counter Catcher, Gust. We're not taking prizes, so fall behind on prizes and just keep making life miserable for opponents. This is the new card here, Accompanying Flute, 4 copies of this. It's random, but with 4 copies, there's a good chance it will hurt your opponent. And once all you need is 1, all that has to happen is you get 1 Pokemon in play that your opponent can't attack with, and that can win the game for us. So you reveal the top cards, 5 cards your opponent's deck. You may choose any number of basic Pokemon you find there, put it onto their bench. You shuffle the rest of the cards, get shuffled back in. So you don't have to put a Pokemon into play if you find it there. I definitely do that at times where I say, no, I don't want to put that Teal Mask Ogerpon EX on my opponent's bench. I'll just pass on that. But we can also do more than 1 Pokemon too if we find it there. So again, most of the time you're not going to hit a Pokemon and might not hit a Pokemon you want, but with four swings at it, you're probably going to hit something eventually. It certainly is important. We have to get something on the bench that your opponent doesn't want. We play one Artazon as for a stadium and 2 Temple of Sinnoh. That's there's some choices on that, but that's the way I've gone with this deck. What else do we have here? 4 Pokégear, which lets us look at the top 7 cards, put a supporter we find there into our hand. Penny, super important, or Arven, super important. So just getting the supporter we need to play that turn, very, very good. And 1 Super Rod, right, is useful there to kind of keep things going. I believe that's the full 60. So, there's some different options with the different cards in the deck, but this is a relatively straightforward list, and it is pretty effective. So let's go take a look at the deck in action on the rank ladder. All right, let's see how things go. I'm pretty sure I've selected the correct deck this time. The first time I tried to record a game for this video, well, had the wrong deck. I'll go first. Could be effective being first. Going second, obviously tools and stuff. All right, so they get to kind of see up against the control style deck. Maybe I probably should have gone second, right? Because Erika's I think can be particularly good my first turn if I get access to that. Of course, I probably don't, right? All right, starting Snorlax. Okay, not bad. 2 Accompanying Flute. Not a bad hand at all. Chuck down a couple Pokemon. Probably get down... How many Welligas does they take, by the way? Just 1? Okay. That is good. I mean, smaller number is always better, right? So my opponent... I don't know. I don't know if they've decided if they want to play this game or not, right? That is a win condition for Snorlax. Your opponent just doesn't want to deal with you. Okay, that's not bad. And that is part of the stall experience. Your opponent just does not want to deal with you, right? And so you will get some cheap wins with playing stall, like this game just showed. All right, let's see if we actually get a game happening this time. Last game, it was a win. I'll probably include it. It was quick. My opponent just conceded before I completed my first turn. So, opponent gets to choose whether they go first or second, and that's fine. I'm not overly concerned about it. First or second with this deck. It's a slow. You know, the deck gets going slowly. There's strengths to both positions, first or second. So taking a mulligan. Again, took it last time. Water sleeves. I don't know if that's meaningful or not. You never fully know on that. So, okay. So, one mulligan. All right, one Snorlax to start. I didn't pay attention to his first or second, but I'll find out soon enough. I guess I'll look in the battle log. I'm first. Okay, so I mean, I have the Bravery Charm. I probably don't get donked. Okay, so Excalibur. Oh, I'm second. Okay. So I probably, I mean, do I take the chance of Misfortune Sisters in getting rid of Rare Candy, right? If I can stop them from evolving to Excalibur, I would win the game. They may have one in hand. I probably need... Because if they set up, they will easily take out my Snorlax even with the Bravery Charm, right? He's at 200. They discard 3 energies, so which they should be able to make happen. Attached to the active, okay. Not fully certain about that one. I guess they're trying to pay the retreat cost. All right, let's see if Heavy Ball gets me anything. I do want a Rotom V. Let's see what else is here. All right, my Erika, because I think I just have one copy in this list. Temple of Sinnoh's not valuable here. All right, so do I want to... So I could Arven. I might just do that. I think I'll Arven. And I will grab... You know what? I'll grab Hero's Cape at this point. If they get rid of it, they get rid of it. And I'll just grab a Nest Ball. That's okay. Drop. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. Sandshrew stops Rod. I'll have to think about that one. Okay, so just do that. I will attach the big tool, the active guy, so he's going to be tough to one-shot for them. And a Rotom V to my turn. Instant charge. So not a terrible turn. We'll see what happens here. I could have gone for like a Misfortune Sisters that last turn. I don't play TM Devolution. That could be good in the deck, obviously. And then I can recover that with Cyllene and potentially reuse it. That's, with Cyllene, you have the potential to reuse anything. But they're, with Irida, the odds were they're going to get Excalibur set up, right? It was more a question of could I'd have to devolve them at some point. And so they're going to evolve. I'm not sure which guy they're going to do. The active, the retreat cost stays the same. I assume they don't want to attack with him. I do have access to Counter Catcher, if that's what I want to do. I guess they're attacking with the active. All right. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but okay. Now, they mostly recover cards into their hand, which I don't stop with the Sandshrew, right? Just stops recovery into the deck. Stops Rod, though, which I guess, which is valuable in some cases. All right, so attaching to the bench and they could pay the retreat. I mean, maybe they're just going to hard retreat, and then they can. They need to get energies back in hand, though. Then they draw 2 more, which they can accelerate. They have 4 energies, so which they would one-shot me. So I'm guessing. Okay, they chose not to one-shot me. Interesting there. I probably just want a Penny then, right? Probably Penny. Do I want to? I'm really surprised by that play. I guess they're to be impatient. Surprised by that. Okay. Oh, Penny. You come into hand. I keep the tool, which is very nice. Do this. Drop down the Hero's Cape. And just Rotom V again. Could drop Artazon down, but not really a reason to do that. Okay. More misfortunes. I'll see what my options are next turn. Yeah, I'd rather keep the Hero's Cape guy alive, right? That's why I might, if they just smack into the man with if they had just done the damage to the Snorlax with just a Bravery Charm, I might have just left him in the active. Okay, so they're going to so they can now retreat, which they're gonna do. They're gonna one-shot me with Chien-Pao, which is fine. I probably gust up the barrel, right? So they can't retreat. And I lose my draw at this point, but that's okay. I don't think I want an Artazon. Maybe I do, though. I'm not positive on that. So another Chien-Pao. Okay, so at this point, the Artazon is fine. They filled up their bench. I could have tried to get another, getting a second Bidoof in play would have been good, because that's what they don't want to be attacking with the barrel. In fact, they can't accelerate to him, right? Back Accelerate only accelerates to water Pokemon, so they're having to attach manually 3 turns in a row, not doing as much damage as they want. So I'm going to gust up the barrel and hope they don't have switch, and they probably drop down the Artazon as well. And now we'll see what happens. So getting another Baxcalibur in play. Again, I don't play TM Devolution, so once they have one Baxcalibur, second Baxcalibur isn't really any worse to me. I don't want Chien-Pao in the active. I probably would gust up a barrel. I might just keep a barrel there, actually, right? Because he's doing 50 on average, right? It's a coin flip attack, so yeah. So I'm just gonna gust, probably drop down the Artazon, and that's fine there. So send up the tankier guy there. Sandshrew, but it can't go in their deck. I don't think that's what I don't think that's my big concern, is it? So let me Artazon. I'll just drop another guy onto the bench. So I'm going to do at this point, and I will gust, and we'll see what happens here. Just makes them use another resource, right? That's the idea here. So now I'm not drawing. I have a good hand, though, right? I'd be happy to play another supporter next turn if I can. Hopefully they're stuck for a turn. They have to manually attach 3 times to start attacking, and then it's a lot of turns after that before they would get the knockout. It's 3 if they hit heads each time. So Sandshrew would have stopped that from happening, right? So maybe, so I guess I should have dropped down Sandshrew. I kind of liked having the Snorlaxes to keep them stuck, right? That was but, Rod, they might play another Rod. I don't know what the count is, but, I think that's okay for me. Assuming this stays like this, I will Misfortune Sisters on my turn. I could Counter Catcher as well if I get that. So, just making them kind of dig through, deck out's the win condition, and they do have to keep playing cards here, right? So, again, should I have played Sandshrew down? That's, I guess. I mean, obviously, they couldn't have played the Rod then. No. can't be, no, it doesn't stop that, I'm sorry. It just stops trainer cards, can't be put back, right? So it would stop, it stops the, in the mirror, it stops Team's Yell Shear, it stops Pal Pad, that's what it stops. It stops trainer cards, it doesn't stop Pokemon or energies. So they can start attacking, and that's okay too. And I, at this point, even if they hit heads, I Misfortune Sisters, and because I have Penny in hand, so that's really good there. Eventually, I will Penny this Snorlax with the big tool, and that's okay, right? So let's see. Hopefully, they flip some tails also, so that's good. It's not a good attack. It does 100, which, like I said, 3-shotting, best case scenario. So Pidgeot V, nice to see him, and I will. Yeah, I think I Misfortune Sister at this point. Okay, so too bad I can't get rid of Hero's Cape. Hero's Cape doesn't matter in this matchup, though, so just end turn there. And just kind of keep the pressure on, so to speak, right? I do have them in the way they can't retreat. They need to switch, and then they do one-shot me. And I don't have Boss, but I do have Arven for Counter Catcher, so I can kind of get the lock back on with the barrel again. And now, but with the barrel, the tool doesn't really matter at all. He does 100 per hit, so it goes from 100 up to 200. So I would probably send up the guy without the tool. All right, drop Hero's Cape. All right. I mean, that's a bit odd. I guess it didn't. Actually, that one didn't make any sense at all. Because if I was going to attack, they should want the barrel to get knocked out, right? Right. I mean, they don't want Bibarel in play. They would love anybody else to be in the active, then Bibarel. They want a water Pokemon. They'll want all water Pokemon in play is what they want. So that was not the right. I'm pretty certain that was not the right spot to attach that tool. So they get the heads. What they got to do this, they need to hit heads one more time, and then I will play Penny. Actually, Defiance Vest actually helps with this matchup, right? So I will Misfortune Sisters. Hopefully I get something this time. Yeah, I did. Let's see all. Just, can I see? Okay, there we go. Okay. So just kind of middling a little bit. I'll attach this tool because this tool is helpful. End turn. Right, so, still kind of debating the Sandshrew when I play it, when I don't. I think not playing is probably correct because they break the lock. And now they could obviously Radiant Greninja from there too. So another head, so I will play Penny this turn. And I think with the Defiance Vest, that actually helps me bet more. So let me play Penny here. Grab you, thank you very much. Drop you there. Do this, and I probably want to. I think I want a Pal Pad here, right? Or should I save the Pal Pad? The Pal Pad's super important, though, right? I think I want to get some pennies back. Actually, I think I want the 2 pennies at this point. So that's okay, and just end turn. Could get the Rotom V and the energy back, but no reason to do that at this point. I'm not going to deck out because I do have Pidgeot V, but I want to be able to keep getting the cards back that I need, right? Deck plays, I think, 1 Cyllene, 2 Pal Pads, so I should have another Pal Pad somewhere. So they're going to get the switch card this turn. That's the good thing for them. They're going to knock me out, but I will get Counter Catcher with Arven and repeat this process, right? Oh, they do. Wow. Do they not have Switch in deck? If they don't play Switch, which they should have grabbed with Erika, right? If they have a Switch card, they play Switch. So maybe they don't play Switch. They could have Turo in the deck. Obviously, Turo is really good for them. That's really the best thing. Then I need to Erika's Invitation at that point, And I think I didn't grab... No, I haven't played Erika's yet. Okay, so Erika's is in the deck. Or the prizes, I don't remember. So Tail Smash. Heads, it does 80. So it doesn't matter. Actually, so it doesn't really matter. So they do one... I mean, oh, it does... Oh, that's right, 60. So that's pretty good there. I will... How do I want to work this? I need to... Do I Arven at this point? Do I Teams Yells Cheer? I'll just end turn here, I guess. I'm kind of happy here. No, I should have done something else, actually. That was a mistake. I was supposed to Penny or something there, wasn't I? I was. That was dumb. Yeah, I should have... Well, I want to be able to Penny next turn, so I should have Iono'd. Probably this turn. All right, they hit Tails. I think Iono. Counter Catcher's fine, but I actually don't... So, yeah, I will Iono here. I need to... I want to be able to Penny. So that is what I should have done last turn. I'd have Eri, have Rotom V. Okay, so just end turn now. So we got double Penny. That's very good. So if they hit heads again, I just Penny him out of play. And maybe I shouldn't have attached the Hero's Cape. But we'll see what happens here, right? I'm trudging along, not very excitedly, but this is kind of what Snorlax is looking to do, right? Just not let my, I am walling off my opponent. They can't retreat. This guy, he can do some damage, but not very effectively. And, okay, so they're at 120, so I will grab back this Snorlax. And at some point, I'll grab you back again. Thank you. Send you up. Drop you down. Play that down. And just end my turn, right? I could drop down Rotom, but again, they play boss, and I really don't want to have to worry about that, so. Right, because the Rotom gets them out of the item lock and stuff. So, like I said, I assume they don't have a Switch card, because they should have played that by now, right? I mean, they aired it before. They should have grabbed Switch previously. I mean, I don't think they really want to just try to win the game with the barrel attacking. But maybe. I mean, what they really want to do is get Barrel out of play completely, right? They don't want to just switch it to the bench because they know he's coming back. So I probably looks like so my opponent didn't grab anything. So they, okay. And it already shows me what I top deck too, which is kind of funny, right? It showed me that I'm going to top deck. I'm going to draw mana before my opponent attack. Look, the game, the sequencing of the game is not quite right. So I will Eri. If I get rid of anything, that's good. Okay, switch cart. That's super nice there. Very nice. So please, although it doesn't work in this case for them anyway, right? So I'll just end turn. Because Barrel's an evolution, right? So just, I need to keep aware of that. They play switch cart, so getting a basic stalled up is less likely to be effective. So they might not play basic switch. They may. All right. So I have access with Forest Seal Stone to any one card. Okay, interesting. So I could drop down another Snorlax. I don't know if I want to or not, but I certainly could. Probably don't mind thinning my deck that little bit too. All right, so they hit into me, but they got to do it a couple more times before, I'm not worried at this point, so... Counter Catcher, don't need that. So let's see. If I have another Snorlax, I will drop him onto the bench. Might as well, right? And the other cards, no, I don't need. At some point, like the Pidgey be nice to get down at some point. Or having Pidgey, I wouldn't mind, right? Because I do have the Forest Seal Stone, and I'll just end there. No reason to play a supporter. Arven doesn't get me anything I need at this point. I have the Pokemon in the active spot that I need there, so it's just going to be just keep the Snorlax on. They've got to hit through 4 Snorlax. which means a lot of gusting. Yes, they could play Iono. They played one Iono. They may play another one or two even. But they're going to deck out eventually, is what I assume. I don't really want to attack with Chi-Yu because I'm going to lose the game that way, right? I mean, and I'm weak to them, so they just one-shot me very fast. If they hit heads, then all right, good. I will play. Just waiting to play Penny. Probably just draw a card, and okay, I'll just end turn. Nothing to do at this point. Happy with my hand, and just waiting to see what's going to happen. At some point, my opponent's now just top decking. So they got heads. I'll play Penny. They'll be unhappy, and that's just the way that goes, right? Just in this nice loop from my perspective, that is, right? Not a good loop from their perspective. So might as well do this and do this and just end turn, right? So now I need to get back. Oh, maybe I should have grabbed Penny. I should have put 2 more pennies back in. No, I don't know. It's not Pal Pad. It's Pokégear. So, okay, that's all right. So boss. So they want to get someone that they can knock out faster, which is fine. That's the second boss, right? Okay, I think I just kind of passed this turn then. I could Pokégear, but I'll just end turn. Because I don't necessarily mind this guy. He's the weakest of the guys that I have going on right now. So that's fine. If they hit into me, maybe I get him out of play. Maybe I let him... Yeah, maybe I should... You know what? Not letting him take a prize still could be good, right? I will Eri. Just kind of. I'll make the Eri the play there. Let's see what they have. So I will... get rid of the energy retrieval, right? Just make it so they can't keep going as long in this game. And if they knock me out, they knock me out. I'm not going to freak out over that. Right? At this point, another knockout's, I think, fine. If they get off the prize like a switch, though, then I'm unhappy, right? And that's what I don't know. I don't know what their exact deck situation is, right? So that's okay. But I knew that was, it was 50-50 chance that I got knocked out that turn, the way I chose to play that turn. So I could have Pokégeared. I guess I just end turn, right? Just end turn. If I need a card, right, with what I have now, I can get Pidgeot V in play, Forest Seal Stone, grab a card, right? So this is a lot of attacks here. Do I want to try to think, do I want to do anything here? Just end turn. I could, do I want a Pokégear? I could Arven for a Pal Pad as well. Okay, well that's nice. So, and yeah, it's a good hand. All right, boss's orders. Again, my hand, I have all the things I need. They may Iono me at some point, but I go to 6 cards, so I'm not overly stressed about that either. I won't draw into Forest Seal Stone, so that part's a given. Okay, so I have the milling option as well. But it mills 2, so I really just want to mill for game. If they get down to 2 cards in deck, I wouldn't mind closing out with the mill. So see what happens. I really don't want to get up another prize, I gotta say. I'm down. Team Yell's Cheer is very nice, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna Team Yell's Cheer here. I want 2 pennies, and I guess I'll grab Misfortune Sisters, because that speeds up the game too, right? I'm trying to deck them out. Misfortune Sisters comes from the deck, So I kind of like that, and I will just end turn. And I do have my Pidgeot and my Forest Seal Stone, so I can get Penny. Guaranteed. If they hit into me, I definitely wanted Penny this turn. Right, so I probably Pokégear first. Okay, but they missed, so that's very nice there. And I think I will just end turn. No reason to rush things through. Again, I could be Pokégearing, trying to get the, just to get a little more disruption going. But, again, I want to keep the Penny loop going a lot. I really don't want to give them any more prizes, I think, at this point. That's not terrible. Do I want to Pokégear this turn? Let me Pokégear once. I have 2, so let me think. I'll grab Penny, right? Because I may want that. Cyllene's good, is nice as well, but that's okay. Just end turn. Haven't played Accompanying Flute. That's the one. I think that might be the only new card in this deck from the newest set. Bumping my Stadium. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Doesn't matter. So Erika, see what they're playing, see what they're grabbing. I think they failed Erika last time, if I remember. Partly I want to look at their deck, I assume. They know I just grabbed a Penny as well. So at this point I have Nest Ball, I have my Fire Energy. I just need to get a switching card. And so, okay, so they hit into me, so I will play Penny because I don't want to get knocked out. And that's okay. So I drew another Penny. So Penny, grab you up, send you up, get down my 3rd Snorlax, attach the Defiance, whatever it is, Defiance what? I'll just end turn. It was Defiance Vest, I think. Oh. Yeah, Defiance Vest. Okay. So there we go. How's it showing things? So it does show there's a tool. It doesn't say what the tool is, though. All right, good. Just keep them missing there is very good for me. So I'll just end turn. And I think I'm trying to remember what's in the deck now. I have Switch in deck, right? I hope so. I hope I do, because I need it for like a turn coming up here. So I don't play Prime Catcher because I play Hero's Cape, so I should play or switch card, but now I don't even know if I do. I'm going to have to look at the list, because if I don't, I think that's going to be a change I'm going to recommend. So I will just... All right, so there we go. And I don't think I'm going to play Snorlax anymore for this video, or for a little bit. Like, it wasn't a very fun game, I think it's fair to say, right? And the rewards you get on like towards the battle pass are a little lower because you're not taking prizes, and it rewards you for taking prizes, which you could argue is not fair, but it is what it is. So anyway, so the deck, hey, it worked for sure. What do I play, by the way? Do I play switching cards? I don't. So that's a problem. I should have a switch in here, right? Because I want to be able to switch in late game to Chi-Yu, and I don't. I can't do that, right? So, I mean, well, that's not true. I'm being stupid, aren't I? I Penny. I don't need switching cards. I play Penny, so I get Snorlax out to play with Penny. It means, though, I can't use Arven and on the turn as well. You need to play Penny for the switch, but that's fine. Yeah. So it just plays plays Penny for that. So look, a good deck, an effective deck. There is the tool that when the opponent damages into you, you move an energy off. I like that tool as well. What is that tool called, by the way? So let's take a quick look. I've seen some lists play it, and I'm tempted to play it. I just have to figure out what I would cut for it. So handheld fan. If the Pokemon's attack is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, move an energy from the attacking Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So it potentially it's good, right? In that case, because they're not one-shotting me, say, with Bibarel, and they're losing energy each time, and that's not good for them, right? It puts even more pressure on. But I don't play, but then I can't play a tool to add more tankiness. So is handheld fan good or not? I'm not certain. I haven't played with it yet. you might want to test it out. Let me know your thoughts on Handheld Fan. Do you think it's got a place in the deck or not? But definitely, well, look, I hope I don't see Snorlax. You're playing Snorlax on the ladder because it's not fun to play against, I gotta say, and I don't overly enjoy playing it. Like that game showed, it was a pretty brain dead match. I just passed a whole lot there, right? Once I was set up and got something there that my opponent didn't want in the active spot. So anyway, the deck works, and have some fun, play some Pokemon, and take care.